I do want to give a huge shout out and celebrate, in my view, the greatest praise singer in modern day Africa. And to me, that is Wodemaya. Of course, there are many more, but today we are featuring Wodemaya because he recently managed to get 1 million subscribers on YouTube. I say that he's great praise singer because this is what they used to refer to great storytellers way back before colonialism, and it's synonymous with Imbongi, from the Xhosa tribe in South Africa. These people were incredibly important people in the African communities who would lift up the culture, who would lift up the people, and they would just go out there. It's like really like doing marketing, but on a whole different kind of level. It's like marketing your culture. It's like telling stories about your people. And so to me, Wodemaya is doing this with his YouTube platform. He's not just a praise singer, but I see him also as Africa's community builder. And he's been very humble. Of course, Wodemaya is not his real name, but he's very humble. Even in the way he describes himself on his YouTube channel, he just says Wodemaya is a young freelance Ghanaian vlogger who is on a mission to change the African negative narrative by promoting all 55 African countries in a positive way to the world, hence Africa to the world. And so you can see he's just very low key, but you know what? Even when the guy hit 1 million subscribers, you can see the next day he was back to work trying to lift his sister up, Jasmine Ama. She's also an incredible Ghanaian YouTuber. I've seen a lot of her videos. She does incredible work, especially in the area of culture and heritage, showcasing different kind of foods, different kind of like museums and things that really speak to the heart of the culture. And so it's just really incredible. But to me, I just say I disagree with the way Wodemaya describes himself. I think Wodemaya is an incredible person in the African community, especially young Africans, and he plays a really vital role of the praise singer. And to me, he is doing that through YouTube, and that's why I say that he is more than a YouTuber. I would even go ahead and argue that Wodemaya is the most influential praise singer and a leading community builder in the YouTube space at the moment. I love Wodemaya because he is redefining that. Wodemaya went ahead and got education in aeronautical engineering, and he left aeronautical engineering and he said, you know what, I'm going to build something for myself and for my people back in Africa. And he said he looked at himself and he was like, well, I can do this, I can tell stories, I can go, I can travel. And so that was him identifying with the culture and saying, I reject this formal way of thinking and being part of this system, and I'm going to come back and tap into my culture. And so in 2018 he started his YouTube channel. So for those of you who will be looking at a resume, he has 8 years experience. Many of you also travel for business in different kind of countries. Wodemaya has traveled to 25 African countries. He is not employed by any company, being booked flights right, left, center, whatnot. Wodemaya is sitting down with his 2 photographers and videographers, and they are planning trips for themselves, doing everything for themselves, building relationships in these countries, communicating with people. Can you try and understand that? Because if you're actually employed in a formal sector, you'd literally have someone who books your flights, you'd have someone who arranges the relationships like this and this and this, and it all comes together. So think about it. I hope when you see it in that view, then it makes sense to appreciate the kind of work that he has done and he has put in thus far. And so with that said, he has 919 YouTube videos that have been published so far, and out of those videos, he's gotten close to 150 million YouTube views. He has, on top of that, he has published 412 Instagram posts. He currently has over 106,000 Instagram followers, 81,000 Facebook followers, 41,000 Twitter followers. So think of it, like, even when you guys are watching a movie, don't you appreciate the production that goes into it, the effects, the music, the everything, the creativity, the way someone thinks about it, about how the movie is coming together, the storyline. Like, this is a lot of work. So for someone to have published all these videos, and not just on one platform, several platforms, we have to be able to give credit and celebrate our own. I think, to me, he's not just doing this, but now that he has a massive platform, he's been able to create additional value addition, like the experience Ghana with Wodemaya has this. He has built this on his website, and you can be able to go on there and book a day with Wodemaya, or several days to go and experience Ghana. And then he has also built a podcast, and it's called Africa to the World Show podcast, so you can listen to some of his content there as well. And then one of the things that also stood out for me was the Make a Change project that is highlighted on his Patreon page, and he's done a really, really incredible job trying to give back to the community. So I think it's important that we do our part. And when I talk about doing our part, when I was doing this research, one of the things that I realized is that the Wikipedia page and the way it was describing Wodemaya, there was a picture of a white person there, and I was like, oh, this is not Wodemaya, so it's also an abandoned page. So if you started this, or if someone out there is really good with Wikipedia, please come, let's sing praises of one another, let's lift one another up. I think one thing that the West has gotten really good at is lifting themselves up, really lifting and amplifying the voice. In fact, when I say this, YouTube has done a really good job. They always celebrate small things. For instance, the other day I got this on my mail, and it was saying celebrate 2021, and one of the things that they were showcasing was the top trending videos of 2021, top creators of 2021, and much more. And when I saw the top creators of 2021, I was like, let me go and check this out. And I went to the page. So this was the page that was showing the top 20 the top 10 2021 creators, videos, and much more. And I was like, let me see who is highlighted in Africa. And then when I went there, the shocking thing was that all I saw was that there was South Africa as a country was listed there, and then they tried to include North Africa and Middle East lumped together, and I was like, this is so confusing, especially if you're an African and you're looking at this data. You're like, first of all, why was South Africa the only country that was included? Second of all, why was North Africa included with Middle East? Like, these, like, how did they arrive at this? Because we're just Africa. I wish they just even had a segment for Africa, just Africa, because this division and everything, sometimes it just builds this it builds a weird vibe around, like, who is superior, who is not, why were they included, why not, it just creates a really weird vibe scenario, especially when YouTube is talking about building an inclusive platform. This then gets really, really confusing, and I did try my best to reach out to them to try and understand why was this the case. But then, guys, this is what I'm talking about. Like, if you don't hype yourselves up and you're waiting for someone else because they're on the platform to come and hype you up, you might as well just sit there and wait. You might as well just sit there and wait. So it's important for us to also look at the future, So now Wodemaya has gotten through all these milestones, like, let me try and paint a picture for you. So between getting one subscriber to at least 900, you get a custom URL. Then you get to 1,000 to at least 10,000 and above. That's when you get into the YouTube partner program, and then you're able to earn a little bit of money from the ads. Okay, and then when you get to the 10,000 mark to around 90,000 there, then you can join a YouTube Next Up program, which is more like a mentorship program. Then above that, when you get to 100,000 subscribers, then you get the silver play button, and then now when you get to 1 million, you get the golden play button. Now we have 2 huge milestones to hit, well, for one of our most influential praise singers. 10 million, 100 million, in a continent where we are close to over 1.3 billion people. This is not impossible. But for that to happen, we have to start appreciating the work that has gone into doing this. For instance, if you've never seen Wodemaya's video, go and check him out. Wodemaya is doing a great job. This was his time in South Sudan when he was highlighting the Mundari tribe. He does a lot of incredible work, especially in highlighting culture. The Mundari tribe is one of the wealthiest tribes in South Sudan. And sometimes we think that wealth has to be oh, I got a degree, I got this, I got this. But even in the African context, there are many ways of you being wealthy, and we need to explore this. We need to learn about this. Wodemaya also talks about the challenges within Africa. For instance, this was the time he traveled to Congo recently, to DRC Congo, and he had to pay $2,500 just to get a visa. Come on now. This is ridiculous. We're not trying to put each other down, but there are things that we need to be able to talk about one another and appreciate that maybe we missed the mark there, right? Then another thing, it's more about really talking about Africa in a positive light. Today, the Western media has done a really good job of painting such a negative picture of Somali, such that if you hear Somali, you're like, oh my God, I might be bombed by somebody, But Wodemaya was there, and there are Somalis there living in Somalia, and they're trying to rebuild the country. And it's important for us to be able to join them and help whenever we can. The other thing is, some of the countries are really underrated. This was Wodemaya's time in Namibia, and he was trying to showcase that. There's incredible women like this woman from Kenya who has built 200 homes. My goodness, Even though I'm not a big fan of the monoculture, and everything just looking the same, but you have to admit this is good effort. This is good work, And what about the time that Wodemaya was in Nigeria, when he talked to these incredible people, African diasporans who had moved from America to go to Nigeria and turn trash into gold? Come on, you have to give it up to him. What about him talking about, you don't need to have papers, to be somebody in life. There are people who have no university degrees, like this woman in the Gambia. She has built. They've built an incredible business as a carpenter with no university qualification. Come on, and then talk about how you can be able to tap into your culture to build incredible restaurants, traditional restaurants in Ghana, and how also women in Liberia, are influencing the political space. And also this was his time in Zambia with, behind every incredible man is an incredible woman, and that's Wodemaya and Miss Tudi when they went to Zambia. So we have to be able to hype each other up. And Wodemaya, to me, this is my gift to you. Man, you are one of the greatest praise singers that we have. And I wish that more and more of us will follow this path, that will stop having such a closed mind and try and relearn, unlearn, re-educate ourselves. really immerse ourselves in Africa. You know, we are Africans, and Africa is our business. We need to be passionate about who we are as a people and try our level best to contribute towards that work. So anyway, if you guys enjoyed the video, thank you, and you managed to watch to the very end, thank you so much. Please be sure to support with a subscribe or leave a comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.